Hello YouTube and YouTube comrades alike, Team Nozar here with my very first Magic the Gathering card review. Every Friday I'm going to start doing this where I go and I give you my opinions about cards, certain decks that I know of or certain decks that I currently own. I talk about them, I explain why I think they're good, why I think they're bad, downfalls, things like that, and I just pretty much talk about the cards. Now you're all probably wondering, what's with the hat? Well, I'm having a really bad hair day today, so I will be wearing a hat for this session. I apologize for it. I also have a game that I'm about to upload today as well, where I will probably be wearing the hat. I can't get my hair under control. So, I apologize to you all for the hat. I don't know if any of you mind it. You might dislike it because it is a Decepticon hat. I'm for the Decepticons all the way. I'm always a bad guy, as you all know. But anyway, without further ado, my magic card of the day. My magic card of the day is a very special card for me, actually. It is Goblin Hellcutter. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Not too good with the camera at the moment, but yes, Goblin Hellcutter. This card here, I don't know if you guys can see it still, is a really decent card, I think. Actually, kind of broken, if you ask me. For 3 mana, you can use its dash ability. What dash is a new ability that they just recently come up with in Fate Reforge, which is a really broken mechanic, if you ask me. For a cheaper or sometimes more expensive cost with some of the cards, you can dash it, which means you summon it from your hand, you attack with it, because it has haste when you summon it through dash, and then it goes back to your hand. Using that in combination with Purpurose, the god of the forge, I think that's his name, yeah, that's his name, whenever a creature is summoned on your side of the field, he deals 2 damage. So every turn, you can dash a creature, and he automatically does his 2 damage, plus whatever that creature does. With Goblin Hellcutter, when you summon him and he attacks, you can target one creature on your opponent's side of the field that can't block. That creature can no longer block that turn. So, turn 3, most people only have 1 or 2 creatures on the field, sometimes 4 if they're lucky. One of those creatures ain't going to be able to block. And with Purpurose on the field, they're getting hit for 2 damage, plus this is a 3/2 creature. So, yeah. Definitely a broken card in my opinion. If you want to normal summon it and just normally have it on the field and keep it on the field, it's for 4 mana instead of the 3. So the dash mechanic is actually a really good mechanic, I think, personally. I know last Friday when I played at Gamers Empire for my draft, this was my #1 card that I drafted. So definitely a really good card. Everyone at that tournament that I was drafting, I think there was 3 of us that made a deck based around Goblin Hellcutter for our drafts. Definitely a plus. I definitely know I'm working on making a Purpurose deck for my Commander deck, and this is going to be one of my key cards in the deck. I really like the dash mechanic. It makes the game a lot more interesting. You can dash them. It's not as good as Flash, I think, because I like Flash because if someone attacks and you flash a creature, you now have a new blocker on the field and your opponent wasn't prepared for. But Dash is more for the aggressive side, where Flash is more for the defensive side. So if you make a Flash and Dash deck, which sounds really cool now that I sit here and think of Flash and Dash, that sounds really cool. You guys should make a deck. If you make a deck called Flash and Dash and put it in the comments below, I will probably make that a deck, if it's a good one. But yes, this card here, I think it's a really good card. A lot of red Goblin decks, definitely I recommend use this. Commander, if you use this with a Commander, definitely use it with Purpurose, because the dash mechanic, I was holding it over here, I don't know why. The dash mechanic on this card is amazing with Purpurose. Any dash card, actually, is amazing, but sadly there's only like 3 red dashes, which is not really that many dashes right now. I think there's 6 total. I think 3 black and 1 dragon. So there's 7 dashers. But in all reality, this one here probably by far the best, if not the second best, because I know there's another dasher where for 4 mana you summon him, he dashes, when he attacks, make a copy of another target creature and have that creature attacking. So he's a good card too, which I definitely recommend you guys looking into him. I'll have his name down in the description below because I can't remember it while I'm making this video. But Goblin Hellcutter is a really good card. I highly recommend it for red decks, goblin decks, and the clan deck. He's a 3/2, and he's a common. So a common with that ability, you really can't miss in upcoming decks. For my opinion about the card, like seeing competitive play, I think it will. I personally think it's a very competitive card. Making it to where someone who has like a 10-10 on the field can't block, that's going to be a very competitive card. Not to mention the aggressiveness and the aggro that that card will pull. A lot of people will hold back their burn cards just for that one card, and that gives you an opportunity to get your bigger cards out. And I know dragons are going to be seeing competitive play really soon, because the next set is the Dragons of Khan or Tarkari, something like that. No, Dragons of Tarkari. And so that alone just tells you, hey, there's going to be dragons. So I definitely think Goblin Hellcutter is going to be really useful, especially for making those dragons unblockable. So definitely recommend. I think right now it's like a 25-cent card, maybe or is it a 5-cent card? It's between that number, 5 cents or 25 cents. I know the holographic card right now is 50 cents. My prediction is the price of this card is going to skyrocket, because people are going to want to use this card, especially in goblin decks and especially in aggro decks. It'll be standard now, I think, for the rest of this year, I believe. I know I was talking to somebody, and somebody was telling me how standard's going to be really weird this year, because they're going to drop not just the Thanos block, but they're also going to drop the first 2 cards of Khans, which would be Khans of Tykeer and Fate Reforge, which is what this puppy's in. And then it'll just be Dragons of Tykeer, M16, and then whatever next block they make, which I don't see them doing that. But this was someone who actually is involved with Wizards of the Coast, so I kind of believe what he said, but I don't know. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. As of right now, I still don't have a standard deck. I am working on my black and red Minotaur deck to try to make that a standard deck, but I'm missing one card. Just one card! I'm missing Hero's Downfall. I just need one more to replace my Dreadbore in there, and then it'll be standard. Sadly, I don't think I'll be getting involved with any more competitive MTG tournaments in the near future because of my work schedule. I do work a full-time job at Subway. My wife works, and we're not really night people anymore. I know when we did the draft, I told them that I wanted to be home by midnight, because typically I go to bed like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, 24 years old and I already act like I'm 80. I go to bed at 10 and I get up at like 8. So I sleep a lot. I like my sleep. So we ended up not getting home until like 3, 4 in the morning from the draft. I mean, the draft didn't end until 1:30, and we started it at 7:30. So it was pretty long. And we ended up not getting home until like 3, 4 in the morning, because we ended up waiting. I wanted to go eat because I was hungry. So we went to Steak and Shake, which was ungodly long. Oh my God, I didn't think Steak and Shake would be so busy at like 2 in the morning. But they were busy as heck. Holy cow. But yeah, definitely don't know when I'm going to be doing another one of those little adventures, because it was just so long. I barely could make it home. Like halfway home, I fell asleep. And then I woke up like 2 seconds later, like, oh my God, I'm driving and I'm about to kill me and my wife. No. So I ended up jacking myself up with a bunch of energy drinks, which was a horrible mistake, because then once I got home, I didn't want to sleep, and I ended up not going to sleep until like 6 in the morning. Woke up the next day at 10, had a massive headache. I felt like I was hungover, and the rest of the day I just felt horrible. Took a nap, ended up sleeping almost all day while my wife was in here doing her YouTube videos. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing a competitive thing anytime in the near future until I move to a place where I actually live like right next door to a Magic the Gathering card shop. So I apologize for that, but I will definitely continue updating my decks to try to make them standard. That way I can show you guys my take on the standard decks and whatnot. But I'm still trying to find that last Hero's Downfall, even though it's about to drop off come not next set, but the set after. But I do want that last Hero's Downfall because I like Hero's Downfall. I might do next Friday, might be a Magic card of the day. I don't know. Kind of just goes with the dice and what card I think should be the Magic card of the day. So, Magic card, well, not the day. I can't say the day because I don't do these videos every day. I only do them on Fridays. So, my Magic card of the week, we'll scratch out day and we'll put week. Magic card of the week is Goblin Hellcutter. Why? Because it is just really, really awesome. The dash mechanic, I'm just going to go over the review real fast. Dash mechanic, broken card, especially when teamed up with cards like Purpurose, where it deals 2 damage every time a card is summoned. So yes, definitely a broken card. I highly recommend you guys run this in Goblin decks and aggro decks alike. With the raid mechanic, I don't know if this card really teams up with raid mechanic as much as people think it does. Raid mechanic, pretty much, if you attack that turn, you get that ability of whatever card it is. I really actually don't like the raid mechanic. I wish it would activate every time you attacked instead of activating at the end of the turn. So, and it only activates one time. So, not a big fan of the raid mechanic, but the dash mechanic is something I can get down with. So, highly recommend this. It's a common card, so it's cheap right now. Normally, common cards don't get very expensive, but for some reason, I do see this card actually getting to be like a 50-cent common, which normally is for uncommon cards. So I kind of see this card getting up in price, and I highly recommend it for any red aggro decks or any goblin decks. I know it's going in my commander deck that I'm trying to work on building, and I'm also working on building a pure red goblin deck with Purpurose, my leading card. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my wife's channel as well for other YouTube videos. She does art videos, she does game videos, and whatnot. This is going to be a new little ritual of mine. Every Friday I am going to start doing a Magic the Gathering card of the week, or Magic the Gathering deck of the week, or rulings and things like that, or updates just in general about Magic the Gathering. So, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, share these with your friends, and as always, YouTube comrades, rock on.